President Clinton, whom I've interviewed on the anniversary of his first year in the White House, said almost the same thing about being president. Both Bill Clinton and Tommy Lasorda are good talkers, and I and once I love and once I love to have on my show because of what they have in common. They have great enthusiasm for their jobs, and they communicate it in their talk. That that enthusiasm and their willingness to share it has obviously made them not just successful as talkers but successful in their chosen careers. Maybe you don't need maybe you don't have the same kind of enthusiasm for your job as Tommy Lasorda. I hope you do. But not everyone is so lucky. Then think of the things you're enthusiastic about: your kids, your hobbies, a charity you work with, even a book you have just read. Without making it into a hobby horse, draw on that enthusiasm in your conversation. If you can take a subject you are passionate about and make your listener understand why, you will be an interesting talker. Don't just talk about yourself. To hold up your end of the conversation, you obviously have to tell your partners something about yourself and answer questions he or she may ask. But don't go on too long. Instead, turn the conversation around, as in, how about you, Mary? Where do you work? Be curious. The best conversationalists are curious about everything. That's why they are good at listening and why they have broad horizons. They are always learning something new. Show empathy. The people we most enjoy talking to are ones who show empathy for us, who make clear their who make clear they relate to what we are feeling as well as what we are saying. When you tell someone you have got a new job, you would really you would like them to say, wow, that's great, not just, oh really. So do the same when you are the listener in a conversation. Oprah Winfrey, to take a talker we are familiar with from television, makes a strong connection with her viewers. Because she so clearly empathizes with the guests on her show. You can tell immediately that she really cares about what they are saying and is relating it to it. Her empathy also helps to draw out her guests and get them to be open with her. It's another mark of a good conversationalist. All the best conversationalists among TV show hosts share this quality. I call them the commiserators. If you told them you had a brain tumor or just chicken pox, they would exhibit empathy and support for you and project that to the audience. Sonia Friedman, who hosts Sonia Live on CNN every weekday, is another example. Is another good example. Dick Cavett is another great commiserator, a man of obvious intelligence and broad interests, whose whose style shows he's interested in his guests and how the guest feels rather than in probing for something sensational. Show your sense of humor. Humor is as welcome in conversation as it is anywhere else, and sometimes it's much more critically needed. When I'm giving a speech, one of my own cardinal rules is never stay too serious too long. That same applies to conversation, maybe more so. But humor is like anything else, doesn't work if it's forced. The best humorists and comics know this and don't try. The best example who comes to mind is Bob Hope. Bob never tries to be unusually funny as a dinner guest. He's certainly not boring or solemn, but he's sophisticated enough not to try to do his old vaudeville monologues at the dinner table. Everybody already knows he's funny on stage, on TV, and in the movies. So he doesn't have to prove it. Furthermore, Hope is more than a comedian and entertainer. He's also a successful businessman who is interested in many things in this world, and a patriotic American who has performed all over the world for members of our armed forces. His experiences in all these areas give them plenty to talk about and make him a lively conversation partner. Even if he doesn't rattle off one liners.